Sportsing like crazy. I've got one of these on. Hi. Look, this is a balaclava, Stedo. Home knitted.
We're doing a Taliban
Home
interview. That's what it looks like.
Yes, but it's sports related. We're insurgents. We're sports insurgents.
You were a sports pretending insurgent.
Yeah. So this is looking good and attractive. Or you can do this with it. You can put this up like this, pretend it's a beanie. Alright? So, Stedo, you tell me when it's attractive enough. How's that?
I don't think we've got long enough, to be honest.
Stedo Stedman, sports experts with us. The oft maligned.
Somewhat
Stedo Stedman. We'll get something in my eye.
It's a beanie. Now look, Dan, I think I've nearly spilled my coffee there.
Yeah.
It won't be very good for you to clean up. We're going to talk about Origin.
What have we got? So
I want to talk about the Origin firstly because, of course,
State of Origin.
It's the big news at the moment now. For all of those that aren't aware, James Tarmo, the New South Wales prop, has been spared for some amount of games, equal to maybe 4.
He's been suspended for
drink driving.
Drink driving.
No, unlicensed drink driving, nonetheless.
I found I drive better drunk. Got much better attention to detail.
I've never done it, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. Now, however, James Tarmo, unlicensed drink driving, 4 times over the limit, blew .167 or something ridiculous like that. There's all this drama about. I heard Paul Gallen say on the radio yesterday that the journos and they don't, or ourselves, we don't get suspended for our job for a month if we blow over the limit.
No.
And that's a fair point, I suppose.
Oh,
come on.
That's all right. It's just an alarm saying it's 4 o'clock. That's all. 4 o'clock sports time. Keep talking.
That man's watching me dance. Now he's. So yeah, I don't know. Dan, do we suspend a bloke? I think the NRL suspension is harsh. He copped $20,000. A $20,000 fine on top of all that. I don't know where.
I'm not sure how legal any of these fines really are.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this guy. Look, what you did, James Tarmo, was bad, and you're lucky you're not in jail because of it. However, at the end of the day, that should be handled by the police and the powers that be. Now, the NRL can come down and say, you know what, it's going to cost you a couple of weeks because that's fair enough. You are an upstanding citizen within our sport, and we expect more of you.
Some kids look up to you. Yes,
lots of kids do because you're tall. But at the end of the day, what he did outside of the sport doesn't matter. Don't know.
Yeah. But it should just be a club matter.
I think it's got to be an NRL
should just stop with
matter.
the club matter. I think you should just stop with the clubs. The clubs should decide what they should do.
Well,
with
I think
people that do things, except for drugs, which is obviously illegal.
Right? So is drink driving unlicensed, just quietly.
Yeah, I know. But it's different in the way that I can't explain right now.
Good one though. Now, look. I think what should happen is the club should say to the NRL, look, Billy Joe, idiot, has done this, and this is
Billy Joe. He was a great front rower.
Oh yeah, this is the suspension or the punishment we're gonna give
Here
out.
in my coffee, someone's going to cop a flogging over this.
Well, can't be mine or yours.
No.
That's disconcerting.
I think it's a balaclava fibre.
Oh.
Stray balaclava
What
fibre.
happens when you've got to drink through a balaclava?
I'm going to drink it, see what happens.
Now, so I think they should palm that off to the NRL and say, look, this is what we recommend. What's your thoughts? NRL could say, you know what, that's crazy. Give him the 4 week suspension you're recommending, and here's $10,000 on top. But I'm not convinced about the monetary fine. I don't know. I mean, they're saying he's lost $50,000 because of it financially, because he's not playing Origin. They get a $30,000 kick for playing Origin. But at the end of the day, if you had a car accident and broke your foot or your toe or your head, you wouldn't get to play Origin.
Can New South Wales win without this gentleman?
Yes.
Oh, so did he
However,
play
it's
well in the
hard.
first game?
Oh, he's very good, Dean. He's a big loss. Don't get me wrong, but
Is he a game breaker?
he could be. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. He's very good.
Could be a big problem then.
Well, they've brought in Aaron Woods from the Balmain.
Woodsy.
The Balmain Tigers, who are
Son
playing.
of Gavin Woods from Countdown fame.
If you just made that up.
Be good.
Sounds
Good if you
made up.
would.
Yeah, he's been going okay. They've all been talking about him, the experts, the people that really know, as opposed to me. Yeah, anyway, other Origin news: Blake Ferguson, the troubled New South Wales winger, is under investigation for some form of sexual deviancy. What was it?
Okay. Allegedly. Allegedly,
I
okay.
might have
Allegedly.
pumped it up a little bit there. It's indecent assault.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is allegedly under investigation. For
No, he's actually under investigation for alleged. Alleged
He is
indecent.
allegedly. He is not. He's definitely allegedly done something.
He's
May or may not have
he
done
may or
something.
may not have done it. We don't know. We don't know what's come out of it. Anyway, it's a disappointing. It's disappointing for Blake. This guy was basically put on an alcohol ban, went to rehab,
Oh,
etc., etc. Yeah, it's terrible. Isn't it tragic? These guys, they get announced in the Origin team and go out and celebrate by drinking, which is what got them in trouble in the first place.
Oh, gosh.
They're thoughtful chaps.
When I get announced for the Origin team, I'm just going to have a small cake,
A cake
a cake pastry,
and an espresso.
yeah, and just hit the sack.
Well, after the espresso wears off.
Yeah,
You don't want
I
that.
don't have any problem sleeping under any circumstances.
Now, in a somewhat knee-jerk reaction to the fight that was in Origin 1, Dan, the NRL's come out and put a blanket ban on punching in the games. In all
Ban on punching.
in all rugby leagues.
So
there's
what's
no
a what
punching.
sort of a what? Have a look at that. Tell me that's not attractive. What sort of penalty is a punch is just going to be a penalty?
Get off 10 minutes in the bid.
10 minutes. For
So if there's an all-in, potentially all of them
counting the
can go.
punches.
Yep, 6, 7, 8 blokes. Look, it's a crazy knee-jerk reaction.
But the fighting isn't worse. It's not worse. It's just not getting any better. Is that what they're saying?
It's way better than it was.
Yeah.
It's 125 times better than it was 5 years ago.
There used to be a fight every NRL match.
Yep.
There was a dust-up of some description.
At the end of the day, these blokes say, get on with it. There's so much wrestling and antagonising little niggling incidents that go on in a game.
It is a
rugby league.
contact sport because sometimes someone annoys you and they didn't even mean to.
That's
like they
right.
knee you where you've already had an injury or a bruise or something like
They
that.
don't know.
And you just because
Snap.
us guys we're a tinderbox.
Ready to go off at a moment's notice.
And I show them my bald spot first.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a lizard.
These days,
I'm like I show them my bald spot and then I'm throwing lefts and rights. Lefts and rights.
Yep, you were right. Well done.
I mean, it's like my left arm doesn't know what my right is doing. So.
No, well, they fight independently of themselves. Off and running.
Look, you want to fight? I'll fight any man.
As long as he's tiny and insignificant and can't fight. Yeah, look, it's a crazy thing.
I don't want to fight anyone.
The fans have gone nuts over it. They're not happy. Fans aren't happy. But what do you do? I mean, the only problem is that the AFL, they have no punching in their sport. But
Yeah.
they do this. They jump and grab.
Why are you hurting me?
Oh, just punch someone. If you're cranky, punch them. God.
No, it's just that they don't want to punch anyone. It's just that they lose their temper, don't they?
Yes.
Because it's a contact sport and it's lots of really fit guys running into each other fast.
Hard. Yes.
And then accidental things happen.
And which can set.
And
you
sometimes
up.
purposeful things happen, but not very often.
Oh, well, like, as I said a minute ago, the wrestling is what's killing the game. There's so many. There's leg twisting and they're dropping their elbows into heads and but they've been using
Butt
heads.
pinching.
Well, there was a solid era of butt fingering in.
Yeah, by John Hopewade.
Nice work, Jono. Done good. Yeah, look, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and hopefully it all settles down quite quickly and they go, oh yes, this was a stupid idea.
We better, before we run out of time, talk about cricket. But
Well,
you can
cricket-
wrap up. You can wrap up.
Well, the rugby league, I just don't know what to do about this, Dan. Tamo's out because
See
of
what happens.
because of an outside incident. Ferguson's under investigation for an incident that's hopefully nothing comes of it.
That other guy's allegedly in trouble for
Yeah, him.
inducing assault.
So yeah, I don't know. And then Josh Reynolds decided to milk a penalty against Manly the other night, which is not such a bad thing because it was Manly.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to look at changing the rules for this bloke milking a penalty that cost Manly the game, and it was not cool.
It's
It
really,
was a bad milk.
you know, these things are forgotten in a week or two if we just don't make a big deal out of them.
Well, same as this fighting thing, Dan. If they had sent Paul Gallen off in the Origin, punched him out for 10, sent him off for 10, which is what they should have done. He should have got 10 in the bin. We wouldn't even be talking about it. There'd be no news. Punched a bloke, he got sent off, don't do it anymore. And they'd all go, well, you can't punch, that's right.
That's right.
Done.
Yeah, we're not dealing with Boston lawyers here, people.
That's right.
Talking about
Thank
with
God.
pro athletes.
Now, on to the cricket. Australia play Sri Lanka tonight, Dan.
I'm
Monday
sniffing
night.
like I've got a coke habit, and I do not have a coke habit.
Hang on, while I get that powder off there.
You're going to have a line?
Now,
It's a biro.
tricky. It's what we draw our lines.
Kilometrico.
Now, the cricket, Australia plays Sri Lanka tonight. Dave Warner's still out after being Dave Warner. Dave Warner decided to try and punch out English cricketer
At a pub.
Johnny Root at 4 a.m. in the morning, which has led to some interesting bylines in the newspapers.
What do I always say? Nothing much good happens after midnight.
Not for Dave Warner. I tell you what, though, 2 pocket rockets going off would have been good to see.
Yeah.
Dave Warner's smaller than me, and Johnny Root's smaller than Dave Warner.
Yeah, they're little fellas, and
They're
there's
little
like a
tankers.
bantamweight.
Well, Dave Warner's big. He's a big boy across the shoulders.
Yeah.
And
Apparently,
solid.
apparently, I heard they were at a cockfight, and 2 of them just fell over the fence.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was it. But they were into
So
it.
it was quite harmless.
Well, they shouldn't have been at the cockfight. I reckon they should give suspension for being at cockfighting. Warner.
Well, my issue with this is the lack of respect at the baggy green. That these guys are showing the baggy green anymore. Look, let's not be naive about it. These things have gone on for years and years and years. But in today's age with the media, you can't go punching blokes out at 4 a.m. anymore.
Yeah, you got to do it more like 11:30.
And then it's excusable. It's okay. It's okay at 11:30. You're not quite drunk. So look,
Is
Dave
it the
Warner, not
problem? Is it the problem that anything short of a indictable offence would be great for Kanye West's career? Any amount of press is great. And are these guys? I know it's a little bit of a. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but are they seeing real celebrities like Americans and Brits, and seeing that they land up in the CRAP, and their fees go up?
yeah,
The more trouble they're in, the more money they make. Are they sort of thinking like that? Because there can be no other explanation.
well, they quite
Is there?
possibly are.
Possibly.
I hope they're not.
What is the other explanation? Is that like when cricket players start playing up like drunken
superstars.
actors,
Yeah.
like rap stars.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the English cricket writers wrote that Dave Warner was carrying on like a rock star super god with a club cricketer's average, and he hasn't
I thought you were
been
going to say
performing.
club foot. I was going to say, oh, Dave.
Poor Dave with his
Poor
club
Dave
foot.
with his club
Look,
foot.
he hasn't been performing, and
Because of his foot.
perhaps that led to some of the frustration. And look, you know what? He should have got suspended for not beating up the little bloke.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what we think.
Couldn't even do it properly.
We're going to wrap
Yeah,
up here
yeah.
because we're trying to keep it succinct for you people so we don't ramble on too much. And then we'll have bigger ones where we ramble on more. Stedo Stedman, sliceradio.com.au, Dan Pritchard. I don't read about me, I just run everything. Sportz.
Except for the fashion.
Check this out.
Sports by us.
Oh, no, 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 no.